Right, I am at the dyno and we've got Zaid's car on the dyno strapped down. Zaid's one of my academy members and he's been self-tuning his own BugEye WRX. Today we're back on the dyno. He's been on a couple of times just to fine-tune a few bits, but he's back on today with Carberry 4.2, so he's looking to optimize that. Very nice red BugEye. So I'll hand you over to Zaid and he'll talk you through what he wants to achieve out of today.
Hiya. So if you're not aware of me, I am Zaid. I've been in the academy for about a year and a half now, and I've done a bunch of upgrades on the car: turbo injectors, intercooler, and a few other bits just to make the car a bit more, I would say, reliable, and take some of the things off the car that are just not really needed on there, just to make things a little bit easier on a day-to-day running, and just keeping it nice. Yeah, I am running Carberry. Initially I was running the standard ROM. We moved away from that once I more or less figured out how to do the standard ROM, and yeah, today is basically to get my car running right, get the fueling right, and hopefully just get my car running the way it should be. So let's see how it goes.
And safe.
And safe.
And safe.
We've got
safe is important.
Yeah.
So Ted's got his deck cans bolted to the left-hand side of the manifold. I've got another set bolted on this side, which I'm going to listen to while I'm doing the dyno runs with Zaid. Anywhere on the inlet manifold is fine for the deck cans. So Zaid to put them on that part. I've got mine on that part. We'll hear exactly the same thing because any detonation, the sound just travels through the manifold really nicely. So if you haven't seen a car on the dyno in here before, what have you been doing? I've done loads of videos, but this one is strapped down at the front, 4 straps at the back as well. We've got also at the back, we've got a wideband that goes into the exhaust pipe, which is measuring the air-fuel ratio, and all of this will display on computer screens here, one for me and one over that side for Zaid. So when I'm doing the runs with him, Zaid will be listening, Zaid's doing the mapping. I'm just going to be giving him some guidance as we go, and hopefully we'll get to the result that he wants. So let's get started.
You spend your whole life trying to get that
no,
zero.
I just gave up. I said that's enough for me.
It's just not worth it.
It's just not worth it.
As Lauren has sort of seen as well, the fuel pressure, it changes day by day. So
yeah. I know.
It might be perfect today, right? That's perfect now.
Yeah.
But then tomorrow it'll be completely
Which I've
different.
encountered, yeah. And then I'm chasing my own tail, so now I just don't bother with it.
You go, right, okay, so long as it's close, it is fine.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we're going to do a run now. And see how it goes. Alright. I need more hands. Right, change gear. Right, so 3rd gear. Switch down, is it?
I'll take a little bit out from there as well. Fueling needs doing, so I'll take a tiny bit out from the ignition timing.
Okay, so that's where we're at the moment. Starting point, boost looks good. I think that's pretty much bang on the target, 1.4 bar. Air fuel ratio is fine up to about 4,000, but then it goes rich. So, you know, quite a lot of power is being lost in this area here. But I think that's what Zaid is going to sort out now.
Yeah, I'm going to just knock a 2 degrees of timing just initially. I don't know where it was, but I think it is. I don't know if it was past 4,000 or if it was past.
The timing,
6,400 or not.
Yes,
so it's about there.
It's around there. Yeah.
So if I just take out 2 degrees, just to safeten it up a bit.
Yeah.
1 second. So 11, 1, 2, 3. That's about 2 degrees taken out from there roughly in that area, which is close to what the other timing map was, but only the rest of it obviously was up here. That's where it was.
What he's doing.
And I've just blended it back, so from there below there, and I've just blended it slightly back, so there's a little bit of a hump there now than before, but that should be enough to obviously stop it from denting on the next run. Fueling wise,
yeah, it was just rich from 4,500 onwards, really.
So ideally, there's 2 ways I could do this. I could do it from the primary table, I could do it from the speed density table. I'm going to choose to do it from the speed density table.
Cool. More than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah. So it was around 4,000 going, yeah, so from about sort of 4,400 onwards, it needs a little bit of fuel. So if I do it from 4,800 and then blend it backwards, that should probably make it a little bit. So it is what at the moment it's about sort of
10.7 at 4.8, something like that. So yeah, if you could
3% take out of there possibly.
Yeah, maybe even more than that.
I'll take out an additional 5 and I'll take out if I take out shift 8, I'll take out 5%. I don't know. It's a risk. I'll take out 5.
Yeah, right.
And then I'll blend it backwards a little bit just to where it was.
We can always add some back in.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's going to det, then you and I will hear it.
I'm a little bit slower than Duncan. I haven't managed to do it as fast as he has, but I'm getting there. But if I just blend it a little bit back, hopefully, it will get me close enough to where I need to be. I knew I wasn't far away, and I knew I wasn't running lean when my AFR gauge was working, but me being a complete idiot, decided that I wanted to have ignition cut launch control, and it done my sensor in, so that's not giving me any information, and it put me on hold. So
it does, yeah. That's the problem with the toys. There are always a downside.
Yeah.
You know, people say, "Oh, is launch control bad for it?" And you go, "Yes,
yeah,
it is, but it is really good fun." Is anti-load bad for it? Yes, but it's really good fun. You ready?
Yeah.
Right. So Zaid's wiring a switch to the green test connectors that are under the dash. We've obviously got the...
what's happened there? Oh, it's not done it now. Right.
Okay, it didn't start writing, did it?
No.
Right, okay. We are fine.
Yeah.
Definitely on.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That should work.
Sometimes you have to quit out of the software, but we'll try it without.
Undo it. Right. Sometimes I have to come out of it. There we go.
Okay. It's writing now. It's important. Oh, what's going on there?
It's the volt, so that's fine. If that's the case, just give that a tug. Sometimes it needs it, unfortunately. I'll try that again, and that should work. Remember, just never turn the ignition key off if you see anything not volts, and just keep it going, and eventually it will start writing, which is what it's doing now.
Yeah, don't panic. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering.
Yeah.
You're not old enough to remember that.
Okay.
Right, okay. So ignition off and we're good to go again. Oh, isn't that lovely? The sun coming through the window. It's nice to see the sun. Right, so made some changes, or Zed made some changes. So boost has gone up a little bit because the turbo's a bit warmer now. Taking a bit of fuel out, possibly need to add a little bit back in this lower end, but definitely lean this out of the top end because that's costing power and it's a waste of fuel. Yeah, it's getting there.
Okay, so
What are you doing now?
I'm going to have to lean it out from around that 4,000 to
We'll add more fuel.
add more fuel, sorry.
Yeah.
I need to add more fuel from there, and then I need to start leaning it out again from around sort of I think from 5,000, no, sorry, about 4,900 onwards, it needs to have more fuel. So if I add a little bit more around, I'd probably add a tiny bit around 3,000, around 4,000.
Yeah, 4.2.
Around 4.2, yeah, I would say 4.2. So
what's the primary open loop fuel table look like? Is that all sensible values, or is that?
I'll have a look at it now. I can go into that too. That'd probably be a bit easier as well from that end. The primary open loop table looks quite clinical.
What are we out there?
So around here. That's where I need to really sort of start adding a little bit of fuel, really.
Yeah, and beyond that, sort of take it out.
Yeah.
I think if it was me, I'd probably, if you set all of that bit, including that road that's 10.57, if you set all of that below it to something like 10.2.
Yeah. Yeah, that might actually...
That will add fuel in that 4,200 mark.
Yeah.
And it'll bring the rest of it up, lean it out.
Yeah. And that doesn't really play too much with my T-bone either.
No.
Just moving it out a little bit.
And your OCD for making that look nice and smooth is fine.
It doesn't need to do it.
It doesn't need to.
It doesn't need to do it.
But it's nice when they look nice.
Yeah.
It's nice when they look logical as well.
Get all of that backwards.
Yeah, you're rarely in that little section of the
is
map.
it? Yeah. As long as it doesn't, I don't feel it on the car in that area, because that's coming in from this way, so that's obviously part throttle, isn't it? Coming on from part throttle.
Or after you've changed gear, and it's that bit as the next gear is building up.
Basically, yeah, that's what it would be. Anyway, it wouldn't matter to me because my power zone is around 3,000. That's where I'm on part throttle. I'm never really in that area. It's almost like I'm on full after that. So anyway, we'll save that and we'll give that a go. I'll save that and see how that runs.
Yep.
I've gone slightly quicker than I was last time.
Right, you ready?
I will be in a second if my computer decides to.
Oh, right, here we go.
1 second.
Ignition on.
Yep.
Right, so we're going to do another run now. Hopefully you can see everything that's going on. Let me talk you through where we're at the moment. So So boost was sorted. So I'm not even going to talk about boost. That's done. Air fuel ratio now, nice mid 11 all the way through. Gets a little bit richer at the top, but that's fine because you know it's right at the top. It's after peak power, so not important. So now what we need to concentrate on is ignition timing to bring the power up, because Subarus need ignition timing for power. So I'm sure Zaid will be working and adding whatever he can ignition timing, obviously bearing in mind that detonation will hold it back. He needs to get up to the point where it's just starting to detonate, and that is the point at which to stop. So he'll do that at this point. And hopefully we'll see the power come up, which I'm sure we will. Right, so where we started is how I'd teach everyone to start. Get the fueling absolutely safe. So low 11, mid 10s, get the ignition timing really low so that you're not in danger of detonation. Work on the boost, work on the fueling. And now, as we're going to do here, is work on the ignition timing, which will bring the power curve up and make it a lot more responsive. So, fingers crossed that will all go well. Okay, fan is back on.
Not enough hands. It's a nightmare. Trying to film and map at the same time.
I've heard some of the videos and it's like, I can't hear what you're saying.
Alright, Jesus, it's hard. I keep trying to talk Vim into coming up and filming while I'm doing it. It might be easier. Right. Okay, so Zaid's got his deck fans on. I've got mine on. And we'll go again. So Zaid added a couple of degrees of time in there, and he went from 313 horsepower to 334. That was just 2 degrees of ignition timing. So I'm sure what he's going to do now is add a little bit more.
Should I add some more further up though? Should I? Because right at the bottom of the thing, but that's around here. I don't know if it's just, if I blend it back, it'll just upping from everywhere, but I'm not sure.
So sort of around this sort of region here.
Yeah. Because all of that.
So I think that bit there is possibly too low, which is why we're feeling that stutter.
Okay.
Right, so that's where we're at the moment, 349. Went from 313 to 334 with 2 degrees. I think another 2 degrees ignition time, and it went up to 349. He's just going to try and add another degree now and see whether it actually makes more power or starts to detonate. So I'll do a run. Click at about 5,000, a little click of detonation, so I think that's the car telling us that's enough on the ignition timing. And what I'm sure he'll be doing now is taking a little bit out for safety, just to make sure it's good to go on any day.
So I'll probably take out 2 degrees of timing. I could take it across the board, but that's the area where it's really happening. So if I take out about 2,
what I would probably say, rather than doing that, is it was only detting at 5,000. So if you just take a degree out at 5,000,
it's going to
check-up before Zed started mapping it. There was an almighty cracker said to me. And yeah, we both heard it really bad. And obviously from that point we've been making changes, or Zed's been making changes, and we're at a point now where it's 350, nice, happy, safe. So yeah, good car. Right, so I'm going to put the microphone, or my microphone, into the earphones on the deck hands and see whether it hears anything. So I'll play that back for you if it does. This is where we got to. So fueling perfect all the way through. This was the bit after we'd got the boost sorted and the fueling sorted. So that was 313 horsepower, but that was with really safe ignition timing, probably the equivalent to 95 RON fuel. But by adding the ignition timing for the 99 RON fuel that he's got in here, we've managed to, Zed's managed to bring the power up right the way across the board, another 40 horsepower effectively from just ignition timing on that, and it's happy and it's safe. Right, so all in all, top job.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, 352.4.
Yeah, thereabouts where I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's a TD04 hybrid.
Yeah. I mean, we've obviously upped the fuel pressure, and the last time I was here, it was actually running lean from about sort of 5,000 onwards. But obviously, because we bumped the fuel pressure up, we've got that steady fueling all across the board now, which I'm really happy is what I wanted to achieve. And nice. Hopefully then now the car's going to drive a little bit better.
Yeah, it should do. Should do. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it useful. And see you in the next video.